Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. We are in the bathroom, as you can see, which only means, well, it doesn't only mean one thing. I filmed a lot of things in here, especially like pregnancy related stuff, but today it means we're doing a makeup video, which are kind of like few and far between lately. I have been wanting to try this e.l.f. CC cream. This is their full coverage camo CC cream, which I love the camo concealer. I actually have both of them. I have the regular one and the like extra hydrating one. I have both of them in my like everyday makeup drawer. I like the formula. I just feel like they work really well for my skin and I feel like they look good all the time. So I have high hopes for this. I've also heard this is a dupe for the Cosmetics CC cream. That's not why I bought it, but I have heard it's a very similar like formula and coverage. Also, don't mind my appearance. It's literally like 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday right now. We're gonna go out to breakfast and go to like a little farmer's market and stuff. So I have to get my life together a little earlier than I normally do. So that's also why I probably still have like my morning voice and don't look so hot. I haven't had coffee yet. Ken's still making my coffee. So I'm super excited to try this out. I wasn't sure what color to grab. I got it at Target. I will of course link it for y'all. It's definitely at Target. I think it's at Ulta as well. It's probably a couple places, so I will link it down below. But it is a kind of pricey, especially for e.l.f. This is $14, which as far as foundations go, I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know, middle pricing. Like I feel like most drugstore foundations are, you know, 8 to like, I don't know, 12. So 14 seems a little high, especially for e.l.f. I feel like we all know e.l.f. is being like super affordable. So this is an expensive foundation for what e.l.f. is, but I think probably if you compare it to obviously the price of the Cosmetics, it's definitely like a third of the price. So I'm wondering if that's why they did it, thinking that like, oh, people will spend more for an e.l.f. product if it's actually like a cheaper version of a more expensive product, you know what I mean? I'm wondering if that's like kind of where the pricing comes in. But I have usually really good luck with e.l.f. foundations and concealers, so I have really high hopes for this. Like I said, it is color correcting, full coverage, natural finish. I got the shade Light 280 Neutral. So it says the N means neutral warm. So I don't know. I didn't want to go all the way into like the medium because it looked a little bit dark, but then again, like I am fairly tan. So I don't know, we'll have to see how the color works out. So obviously the idea behind a CC cream is that it's like a little bit more natural looking, but still gives you a full coverage finish, which sometimes can sound a little bit contradictory, but I think the idea is it's just like not super heavy looking, but still gives you a good amount of coverage and it doesn't hopefully feel heavy either. And this does have collagen peptides and niacinamide, which will help plump, hydrate, and smooth the appearance of your skin. And it does have SPF 30. So I'm so excited to try this. I actually purchased this probably like a week ago at this point, and like I said, I just like haven't been wearing a ton of makeup, so I just haven't even gotten a chance to try it. So I'm gonna do the usual testing out ritual. I have a foundation brush here. This is actually a Tarte foundation brush, and then you don't need to see this because it's not clean. I'm not gonna pretend I'm like one of those people that just cleans their sponges on a regular basis, because I don't. But this is the ColourPop sponge. I don't even know if they sell it anymore, but I really like that one as well. So I'm super excited to try this out. This does have a pump on it, which I think is amazing, and I feel like that's just always super easy in terms of like getting product out. I don't know how much product to use. I'm gonna do the brush first because usually I like brushes more, generally speaking. So I'm gonna do like a pump-ish. And that's how much product I'm gonna use. All right, moment of truth. The only problem is I have to be kind of far from my mirror to film, and I obviously can't wear my glasses and do this, so I can't see that well, but oh. All right, this might even be a little bit on the dark side. Maybe not, let's see. I really thought getting light was gonna be like a super safe bet, not going into like the medium range, but tell me if y'all think the same thing. I feel like e.l.f. products just run dark. I mean, I've been using e.l.f. products for about my whole life. I feel like probably like 10 years, and I feel like they always run dark. Is that y'all's experience too? Okay, so that didn't go very far, so I don't feel like that stretched very far, but again, it wasn't a ton of product, but I just felt like it wasn't super spreadable. Like I feel like as soon as I put it on, it just kind of stayed where I put it. It wasn't super blendy. It's definitely very dewy. Do you guys see all? And I haven't put any moisturizer or anything on. I try not to like adulterate these reviews or these first impressions by putting anything on my skin, so I haven't done anything. I literally woke up and came in here and started filming. So this is just straight up dewy. Could be that pregnancy glow. Just kidding, it's not that. My skin has been honestly pretty dry. I actually had to put like some chapstick on like the outer rim of my lip over here because it was like so dry this morning, which is weird to have a dry spot like right there. So I don't know what that's about. The color actually isn't bad. I feel like if you look at me head on, you can tell I have something on my face. Obviously, it's not like my exact skin color, but it doesn't look crazy. I feel like it definitely works. I mean, my neck is always 10 times lighter than my face, so I feel like it matches my face. Probably doesn't match my neck perfectly, but we can just do a little blending and make that work. But it looks good, and it is definitely got a good amount of coverage. I mean, it's very smoothing. You can obviously see the like little blemish area I have. It gave a very even coverage, and it's definitely, I would say it's full coverage. Everything is covered up. Like I have a lot of scarring over here that you probably noticed. That's all perfectly evened out. It honestly looks really good, and I like the shade a lot. I think it's like a nice neutral, maybe like it says it's a little bit warm. It looks really good. Let's check out how it works with the sponge. Like I said, I do have a little bit of like 2 little spots here, and then I just have like general kind of discoloration over here. So I did like an actual full pump that time, so I think maybe I got a tiny bit more product, but I have a little bit of extra space to cover on this side now. But then again, you know, sponges sometimes can suck up product, so we'll see. It definitely looks like too dark at first, but then I feel like when you spread it out, I feel like it's going a lot farther on this side. Again, maybe I used a tiny bit more product. Sometimes I feel though, however, even though sponges can absorb product, sometimes I feel like the wetness on the sponge almost makes it go farther, because it like makes it more diluted almost. It kind of makes it more blendy. Wait, this looks really good. Is this a little too dark? I keep thinking this is my hair right here, but it's just a spot on the sweatshirt. But I'm definitely gonna blend it onto the neck for sure. Obviously, once I hop off here, just like finish up my face a little bit and set it. We'll see how it does with like creasing and stuff, because I definitely have some wrinkles in my forehead, and I do tend to get some creasing like on my under eyes and on my eyelids as well. So I'm gonna set everything. My forehead and my smile lines are where we'll be able to tell if it is a creaser or not. I don't really feel like I see a huge difference between the 2 sides. Like, do y'all notice much of a difference? I feel like these 2 sides look almost identical, so I don't even think it matters whether you use a sponge or a brush. I feel like you'll definitely get the full coverage out of it. I mean, it is super smooth. It does look like a tiny bit heavy in my opinion. Like if you look at my pores especially, sorry to get like so up close and personal, but like I feel like you can kind of see the product sitting there. One of my favorite products I've been using lately, I actually have a video on this as well, as the Wet n Wild tinted hydrator, which obviously these are both drugstore products. This is like $10 cheaper, and this is a little bit of a lighter coverage, but it can be built up to get coverage like this pretty full. But the Wet n Wild one is like very invisible on your skin, so I'm just kind of comparing this to like another product I recently used. It definitely looks a little bit heavier, but I feel like this honestly is a regular foundation. Like it definitely is a lot of coverage, super smooth. You can definitely notice that I have foundation all over my face. I can feel that I have product on my skin as well. Like these little zits down here, look at how, I mean, maybe some people would put a little bit more concealer on those, but I don't see any redness. I just see the texture from it. And honestly, the sponge and the brush side both look the same. I love this dewiness. If you're the kind of person that cannot set their makeup, which I'm not one of those people that's like not wearing a bra or underwear to me, like I have to set my face, this would be so pretty to not set, because the glow is stunning. So far so good. I'm feeling very good about it. I'm gonna put a little bit of powder on, probably just a tiny bit of concealer under my eyes and like some mascara. I'm gonna keep it pretty low maintenance this morning, and then I'll check back in with y'all and let y'all know what I think. All right, here is the final look. I didn't do much with my face, honestly. Like I said, I just set it, put a little bit. I used the Hydrating Camo concealer, so we're like keeping it very consistent with the theme here. I just used a tiny bit under my eyes. It is so nice and full coverage and so smoothing. I feel like it really like goes with this foundation so well. It has like a very similar finish in terms of coverage and like the hydrating kind of almost like dewy look. I kind of knew I was gonna like this foundation or CC cream based on the fact that I've liked both of the concealers. And I literally just set my face. I used the like regular old Airspun powder, like my tried and true. I just did a tiny bit of bronzer and a tiny bit of blush. I used my Clinique Glow to Go palette. I did not do highlighter though, because I wanted to see how the glowiness of this like kept up throughout setting it, you know, with more like mattifying powders. And it definitely took away some of the dewiness for sure. It's definitely not like as dewy. I think you can tell it still has that really healthy like glow, and it definitely looks very hydrating. I feel like you can especially see it kind of like in my, I don't know, under eye area. Still like got a good amount of that really like healthy, glowy, like reflectiveness to it, even underneath powder. I think it matches really, really well. I think this is probably my perfect color, but I think I could go a little bit lighter. I definitely could not go darker, but I loved it. I do, however, see like a little bit of creasing happening. Let me relax my face. You can definitely see it settled in a tiny bit, but I feel like that's just a normal amount. I don't really expect anything to like not settle in. I mean, it's literally crevices in my skin. My smile lines look okay, but I'm loving this. Like, I'm so happy with how this looks. It went on super, super smooth, like very, I would say more blendable with the sponge. It doesn't look crazy heavy. Like, it doesn't look any heavier than any other foundation, I wouldn't say. But I love the amount of coverage. I love that I didn't have to spot conceal anything, and my skin just looks so even and so nice. I don't know obviously how this would work if your skin, like if you had a lot of dry patches or if you were oily, because this is so dewy. I don't know if maybe this would be a little bit too shiny at some point, like maybe within a couple hours or by the end of the day. I wish I had maybe like a better range of skin issues to give you a better well, I don't wish that. I don't wish that. So obviously I don't feel like anyone can give you like a full review on how it would work for a bunch of different skin types, but I think overall this is amazing. I feel like the fact that it probably does mimic the It Cosmetics CC cream in terms of like coverage and finish and stuff like that. If you really love that one, I think this would be a good one to try. Like I said, I will link it down below, but I am super, super excited about it. I really love how this looks. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.